in our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves.
We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery.
Unity
is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate.
In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone.
It underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the only home we've ever known.
Let us all unite!
Welcome, everybody, to the second podcast. We have returned with a broken promise. We have no guests this week, mainly because we need to figure that out.
Well, technically, we didn't promise.
That's true. We didn't. We may or may not, I believe, was the final wording I used last week.
We were going to have our dear beloved friend Tyrant, who we have loved the entire time we've ever known him because he is an amazing human being.
He had to come in to correct some points.
Yeah, we were going to have Ty, but unfortunately, Ty chose women over Minecraft. So, it's just us. So, what you want to talk about?
Well, so the big news on the server this week is the technical stuff I'm not adept at talking about, so why don't you talk about that?
All right. Well, for all of my avid subscribers that have watched my videos, I had spoken in a recent video about using paper to lag optimize your Minecraft server and the massive benefits of that. And up until 1.16, that was the truth. We ran 1.15 paper, and maybe even in 1.14. No, I think we swapped it in 1.15. We've run paper server jar for our last world, and then when we did the reset, we kept it, but this time, I don't know if the devs swapped or somebody's ideology got involved or what happened, but so many things were changed in this iteration of paper, and especially in 1.16.1, the release that they gave, that a lot of vanilla mechanics had been removed. And anytime I sought out help or explanation for that in the Discord, it was pretty toxic. Not our Discord, the paper Discord. Of just pretty blatant, well, you can go yourself then, kind of. If you want those mechanics, we don't think those should be in the game, and that's why they're not there. Go find a different server to play on.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, was that the Discord was pretty unhelpful.
Yeah, and I thought, every community has their toxic people in it, but then when you realize, like you look in the list, those are the devs that are answering those questions so hatefully. So that set me off kilter, and then I've had a long history of being a huge Psycraft fan, and a while back now, Psycraft, one of the members, Nimbom, started developing Carpet. It has a lot of features that are based on technical Minecraft stuff, but at its core, it's a lot better of a vanilla experience than paper is. So after consideration and a lot of agreeing with Chess and talking into an echo chamber through Chess, finally decided we were going to move to Fabric and use Carpet as our sort of server jar. In addition, we also have Lithium and Phosphorus. If you watch Hermitcraft, just to give another example of how bad vanilla servers are, even the Hermitcraft server is currently running a Fabric server with Lithium on it, like we are. Lithium and Phosphorus combine together and do a lot of lag optimizations as far as the lighting engine goes and some other things. But yeah, with paper, it seems that the way they went about lag optimizing was just removing features and things that they deemed were exploits and shouldn't be in the game. And in my mind, features like TNT duping, bedrock breaking, sand duping, XP collection, those kind of they've been in the game forever. Minecraft's the most downloaded video game in the world, and Mojang is obviously one of the biggest game developers in the world. So if it was, quote unquote, an exploit bug game breaking experience, then, they would have taken it out by now. But they fixed a lot of other things and left those mechanics in because, a lot of people use those mechanics. So, yeah, so we've swapped to a fabric server jar running carpet, lithium, and phosphorus. And so far, it's been a lot better than paper. We're able to do everything we want. There's a lot of cool new features that are added. If you drop a bunch of shulkers on the ground, you can pick them up in a stack if they're empty. That's one. Shulkers respawn in the end, so if you're looking to not have to trim your end chunks every 2 weeks to get more shulkers, that's a cool feature. It also has other mechanics like husk spawning sand if they're killed, so it's a way to create renewable sand without sand duping. Yeah, it's got a lot of cool features, and so far it's been great. It's keeping up. And
what I noticed last night is you were using one of the features on Fabric, specifically trying to work with me.
Yeah, so there's a feature. It's actually a carpet feature. Well, like I said, there's a lot of technical things. And if you ever want to use the command thing, you can see how many features we're actually not using. We've only got like 6 of them turned on that carpet can offer because my aim is to provide a vanilla experience. But one of the cool features that carpet has is when you're doing these mega perimeters like me and Chess do, the issue is keeping it all loaded. Because if a flying machine TNT duper flies into an unloaded chunk, it breaks. And so when you're doing those mega perimeters, it has a feature that you can summon in a bot, which essentially just acts as a shell of a player but keeps the area loaded. So the old way we used to do it was to have Drumcam, my second account, just sit in the flying machines, which has probably put years and years on my laptop because I just have to leave my laptop open and running with Drumcam there for 12 hours straight while a perimeter is dug. But yeah, it's really cool. You can just summon them in. But the way that it works is it's essentially summoning in a bot that's based on the NBT data of an actual player. So I can't just summon in a bot named Unity Podcast and have it stand there. I have to pick a real player's name. So we were having fun with it the other afternoon, summoning in like the entirety of the SciCraft server over at the Temple of El Mango and taking pictures with them. But then when Thin got on, we spammed every famous YouTuber which we could think of, which didn't have quite the effect we wanted because Thin didn't know who like most of them were because he's not like up on Hermitcraft and like
who's Brian? Who's Brian?
Grian is one of the probably the second biggest Minecraft YouTuber on Hermitcraft.
I knew some of those.
So then I had to like go back in my knowledge and spawn in like Etho and BOO and like try and hit from the old one.
And that's where I caught you because you misspelled generic B.
I did misspell generic B.
You misspelled generic B, and then you started getting too specific. You started spawning in people who had played on the server, people from Friendcraft.
Yeah.
Okay, 100%. This boils down to Drum because I was thinking Drum, Evie, or Ty. Ty was too drunk to figure that out. Evie was off doing something else, and then we started getting the Friendcraft videos. This has to be Drum.
But it's fun. It's a cool thing. It's very useful, but it's also fun to say.
It's very cool, yeah.
Etho's on the server. Oh my god. So, Finn, I just figured it out. The way that we beef up the tab list when new people join is we just summon in a bunch of random players. Like, man, that server's
players
popping.
On the server.
Yeah, because you can make them like walk around or use an object so that their names don't go AFK. So just have a bunch of players on there.
Let's hope they never get 8 minutes in on the second Unity podcast then to figure out our secret.
Oof. Well, I think we're safe. I'm not going to trash the podcast, but thank you to those who did listen last week and are listening now. We're going to talk to Sammy, our other resident podcaster. She does a podcast called Classic Horror Podcast. Talk to her about how to get distribution going. So we should show up on some podcast distributors once I put in the time to actually do that.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have Sammy on as a guest 1 week.
Yeah, Sammy's been chugging ahead. She's got a bunch of episodes over there. I don't know if she's currently outputting more episodes, but yeah, we got some advice from Sammy on how to do it. So hopefully, maybe someone is listening to this on iTunes right now. We don't know then.
Maybe.
So yeah, this week on Unity, big move from paper to fabric /vanilla. It took About 4.5 hours because Paper separates all the dimensions into their own world files. And so I have to download all of them to make a backup for one, then compress them all into a traditional vanilla world, then re-upload them. And Unity is about 7.5 gigs. And with my super high quality internet, that took 4.5 hours to upload. Thankfully, Joy, Chess, Choppa, Ty, everybody stayed on with me for about 3.5 hours, and they slowly petered out. I think it was only me, Chess, and Joy left by the end once it was actually ready to go.
Well, speaking of Choppa and Joy, we've got new players on the server. Pretty active players. And Ninja Fox.
Yeah, thinned it around to ads last week, and we got 2 really awesome new players, and we got 2 others that I'm sure they're awesome players. They just don't join voice chat, so we don't really know them. But yeah, we got Joy, who's really awesome, fun to talk to, and we got Choppa, who is Aim's friend, who's also very active in the voice chat. He's been cool to talk to.
Yeah, and then Ninja Fox, why he was on this morning,
Ninja Fox has been chugging ahead. Yeah, he's been nice in chat, but I don't think he's a Discord person.
I think like Aim and Choppa, I think he's a gentleman in his late 30s who lives in Canada. So
I don't remember looking at his application to know. And then we got Da Vinci, which God bless Da Vinci's demon.
Yeah, Da Vinci. Yeah,
the dude has.
Oh, man,
I don't know what's up with his internet, but anytime he's trying to play, all the chat is Da Vinci left, Da Vinci joined, Da Vinci left, Da Vinci joined. But he's chugged ahead. He already got his 500 minutes, and I guess 3-minute burst when his internet would allow him to.
Yeah, he's got some strong resolve for...
I know, I would have given up. I would have gone to single player or tried to find a different server.
Yeah.
But I mean, he even mentioned in his application, he was like, connection allowing, I'll be on X amount of time. So I guess he's used to not having great internet.
I mean, I thought I didn't have great internet because I'll drop maybe like once every 2 nights or something.
Yeah.
From the server, but I mean that's a whole new level. So that's applause to Da Vinci's demon, because that's some strong will right there.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought I'd mention another thing about going from paper to Carbit is that all of our data packs work. Did you notice that?
I did, yeah.
Because Paper releases a new version of their server jar about every 6 hours, and they seem to break every vanilla data pack that we use. But sure enough, fired up on Carpet, Wandering Traders were selling all their heads, all our crafting recipes were there.
Yeah, it's nice. It's been a while since we've had all of them work.
Yeah, and so now I'm confident enough to go ahead and add the last few and make sure that all of them are in there. Clear out the file folders because there's like 18 versions of every data pack in there for me trying to get them to work. Little did I know I was being stifled by Paper the whole time.
What are the last few that we were doing?
Decraftable nether wart blocks. That was one that we wanted to throw in. So the trees, you could downcraft them into nether wart so you could actually use them to make bricks.
I wish you told me this. Just today, I set up an automatic composting system to turn all my nether wart and warped wart blocks into...
Yeah, those are just really obnoxious because they don't decay. It's just like a giant mushroom on a mushroom island. You have to tear it down or it won't go away.
No, I mean, now that I've got it in like an automatic system, I don't mind. I've gotten like, out of like a full barrel's worth, I think I've gotten almost 3 stacks of bone meal. So that's
good rates, yeah.
Pretty good, yeah. Because I mean, I'm just using that to bone meal more mushrooms for giant mushroom trees anyway. So it's a cyclical thing. If I could find a way to get the mushrooms to farm, then I'd be completely renewable on that for the Grand Temple of the Shroom.
Right, that's been your big project this week, working on the Temple of the Shroom.
That was my project. I've got 2 towers up. I was working on a Great Hall today that I'm going to use temporarily as my sort of base of operations, so I don't have all my chests and everything laying out in the middle of nowhere. Done some landscaping, got some waterfalls going on. I cleared out an absolute ton of jungle for that. I went through 2 entire diamond axes, one of which I did mending on all the way back to full, and then used it up again, another like 50% of it. I cleared out, I think the area I cleared out is just about akin to I think the total area is larger than the size of your big base in the ocean.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and it's all in the Jungle Hills, and then I terraformed a bunch of it, and now I'm working on that. I'm hoping to have like a shrine because we've got 4 mushrooms now, so I'm hoping to have like a specific shrine for each of the mushrooms, right, and then a grand temple for the holy mushroom.
Right. I mean, it's only appropriate that you worship all 4.
Yeah, I mean, now that we've got more than just...
I mean, at the top of the list, though, it's the Hideous Gumfidious.
Yeah, the Hideous Gumfidious, of course, is the traditional. Because it's got the best name. It's that one and then the sweat-producing clitocybe are just the best named mushrooms.
Gonna have to figure out if I'm gonna have to oof over that or not.
It's the name of a mushroom. There's also the Fat Jack. That's a great name for a mushroom, a Fat Jack.
Fat Jack.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, the Hideous Gumfidious, the best name for a mushroom. That's why it's the holy mushroom.
Well, you've been working on the Mushroom Temple.
Yeah.
Me and Chess have been continuing our project of breaking bedrock, but we did get a wither farm, a temporary one set up. So me and Chess, I think I've killed 190. Chess is at like 173 withers. So we decided to make a giga beacon that was 64 beacons together just to flex. And we opened a...
You might have to do a little like overlay of the Giga Beacon on the podcast.
Yeah, show off our Giga Beacon. Let's see if I can remember that.
Yeah.
Been working on that. Today I spent a lot of time while some more Bedrock Breakers were running, mostly finishing the Nether Hub. See, the Nether Hub was supposed to be a big community project, and then the issue with when it comes to like a Nether Hub and you want it to be a creative or a community project, the problem is there's no clear direction, right? Because when you want everyone to collaborate on something that's not piecemeal,
right,
it's hard. So I don't know if people just didn't actually want to help build the Nether Hub, because there was a lot of strong opinions shared when I sent out the survey about what the Nether Hub should be, but then nobody ever sort of took the initiative. So I took the initiative to build the Nether Hub, the center part, and I made little example walls going down each one. And then I guess people either just didn't actually want to help or thought it was just my thing by me starting it, and no one has worked on the Nether Hub since I started that. So today, I just plowed through. I finished most of the Nether hallways. So I think we have a somewhat enclosed, somewhat safe Nether Hub now.
I think that often is how it is. That a lot of people just busy themselves with other things and then just sort of make themselves kind of believe that like, oh, well, someone's got a specific vision for this. I better not step on any toes doing that.
Right. And I mean, in this scenario,
like, I don't think it's malicious or anything.
No.
I think everyone's just trying to make sure they're not making any enemies or anything. I don't know why they would think they're doing that on this server, but
yeah, but in a scenario like this, it's like the pattern has been established. You just have to help build it. So
yeah,
I don't know. I talk about that in one of my videos of one way to keep a server going is through community projects. And in my mind, that's a great idea. But in all honesty and execution, that's very rarely happened effectively.
Well, and we do have community projects on the server too.
Right.
We're working on.
Right. We can talk about those in a second. But the one community project that did get done, and this is not to trash on our members or anything, is the one that I offered payment for you to contribute to. Next to the giant tree at our spawn where we do trivia, me and Cave decided we wanted to do a port. So he built a little ship, I built a pirate ship, and I was like, well, there needs to be a little harbor town over here. So the way our shopping district works is we have plots that we lay out that people can purchase or not purchase, but just claim to build their shops. So I did a similar thing, except for I laid out the plots and I put a sign in front of each one saying how many diamonds I would pay you to build something there. And that was the only way that people actually contributed to that project. What's interesting to me, though, is that I only ended up paying, I think, you, Sammy, Moose, and Chess, and a lot of other people contributed to that project. So it's like there just has to be like enough initiative to get them over there, and then they realize that they do want to actually contribute.
Well, I mean, the distinct difference between that one and the Nether Hub, though, is that there's an innate sense of creativity where you get your own plot and you can build your own thing. Like, you gave out a block palette or anything, but they got to decide what they wanted to do, whereas like doing the nether hallways is nobody kind of wants to do that because it's just mindless, like repetitive activity. They're like, oh, well, I got to
Right.
do that at my own base to grind or something.
But see, the thing is, everybody's happy to complain that the Nether Hub isn't done as they have, but no one's really wants to sit down and, just grind it out. Which that's one of the things that I've always wished that I could encourage more on our server is the power of community when it comes to doing big projects and how quickly things can be expedited by working together. That Nether Hub could have been done in one night if everybody helped with it, but it's taken me 3 weeks to get it done by myself.
Well, and and on the last server, I had the Department of Public Works, where we had community farms and community roads and projects we had, and people could request community projects to be built, and I would put out a book saying, the community coffers that we got from the auctions of old people's bases. We will pay you a certain number of diamonds to do this as a public farm or something like that. And some of the project, like the roads and everything, the roads were the most repetitive part of that, and I pretty much ended up doing all the roads.
Yeah.
Anyway, like some of the farms got built by some people. Like people took those on because those are, I guess, fun. I guess more fun to build than just, paving roads.
But like when I talk about the power of community when it comes to those giant projects, think about 1.13 land. I know anyone who's listening to this who's not been with us for that long, in the first iteration of Unity, it was totally community based. We didn't have shopping or anything. So everybody just shared resources. That was sort of the concept behind it, was communal. A lot of communist jokes were made, but it was communal. And the idea was to expedite people's builds and stuff so that everybody doesn't have to do their individual grind to get where they need to be to start building. And it worked. But one of the projects that we undertook was we wanted to have a giant community iron farm at our spawn so that it would always be on and running. And it wasn't super necessary, but to do a little lag reduction, we decided we were going to level spawn. It was in a desert. And it maybe took 2 hours. We leveled a 16 by 16 perimeter around our iron farm in no time flat. By hand. No dupers, none of that.
6 of us.
Yeah. It was like you, me, Mondano, Bear, Maze, maybe Ty. Yeah, a few others.
Yeah.
Ham, yeah.
Was
We just leveled that thing super fast. So, and I can't control what people do. That's not what Minecraft's about, and it's not my place as a server owner to control people, but I really wish, and people love Harbortown and they think it's so pretty and so cool. I'm like, yeah, you see what happens when the power of friendship combines and we work together, we can make really pretty things. So,
well, we got people to participate when we did that community build project or the contest. Maybe we do another one of those.
But once again, there had to be initiative. There had to be a diamond reward for people to participate,
Was there a reward? I thought we all just got participation trophies.
No, everybody entered for a diamond block or 2 diamond blocks, and then Cave won them all.
Oh yeah, it was whoever won the pot.
They won the pool.
The pot, yeah.
So on Unity currently, now that the Nether Hub's kind of done, that's not a community project anymore. Not that it ever was, but we have the Modern City, which I've tried to share in Discord. I don't think many people knew. I started that project before 1.16 happened and then kind of abandoned it, but I've gone back to it a little bit. But I leveled a Mushroom Island, covered it in grass so that people wouldn't have to worry about lighting and stuff, and want to make it into a Modern City. And that one, hopefully, if people are more aware of it, that one could be expedited because it's kind of like Harbortown in that you can it's piecemeal. You just contribute to it. You don't have to follow really any pattern besides it's a modern city. We're going to,
Yeah, I have an idea of something to build out. Like I'd go over there and I'd build like a big old hotel or something.
Right. I mean, currently it's drum court, baseball stadium, half of a movie studio, and my yacht in the ocean. So we need a little more going on there because it's a huge area. It's probably about, 20 by 20 chunks of fair game.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a modern, I've seen other people build in a modern style. I mean,
yeah. And modern doesn't necessarily mean white concrete and glass. It can be just in the style of like a city.
Yeah. I mean, I know like Friendly and Cave they build a lot, or they've built a lot in the past in sort of a medievally style. But I've seen them both do modern stuff before that looks really good.
Well, yeah, and another community project that Sammy's trying to get going is she's leveled out conveniently another Mushroom Island, and she's trying to get a fantasy sort of setup going, which was also an idea Friendly had shared. He had picked out an island, but he might want to do it on the Mushroom Island. But
she's building a fantasy town,
right, because her idea was also to do a city, but since I used TN2 Diverse, I got mine done and ready a lot faster than her. She did it all by hand. But yeah, she wants to do like a fantasy sort of area over there, kind of like season 6 of Hermitcraft, where they had districts. That's sort of the idea. Is we have the shopping district, we have the city district, fantasy district, that kind of, and we have the Egyptian district, I guess, over next to Friendly, where people have been.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Everyone's been building over it. Well, yeah, okay. So people have been doing that. Like Juju went and built a Sphinx over there, and Friendly asked if I would build a town there. And I was starting to, and then Juju built her Sphinx on top of that, so I have to relocate that. And we went and slabbed the other pyramid to make it blend in with the rest of the
right. And once again,
desert.
That was less than an hour. We covered up that pyramid, and it looks great. When you work together, things go fast.
Yeah, I recorded that. It took like 25 minutes.
So I don't know. I like I said, it's not my place to force people, and it's not my place to guilt trip anybody for not doing it, but I do wish that there was sort of more community projects and community.
Yeah. I mean, the modern city, I mean, that's your child. That
yeah,
one. So I mean, it's your right to promote it. So,
yeah,
promote away.
But I mean, we often have this scenario of everyone's on Discord and everybody's like, I don't know what to do. I'm just bouncing around. I don't know what to do. I'm just bouncing around. And it's like, well, if we have these community projects like the Nether Hub or some grindy stuff, like people could run over and be working on that.
But another aspect of this we have to mention, and I'll talk specifically about the Games District, which is the other big community project on the server that's in progress. And we use it a lot because there's a lot of fun games over there. Is that, you can collaborate with other people. Like, Ty asked me to go over, like, he built a card game for the Games District, and he wanted me to build a bar around it, and I built a bar around it. So, like, if you're a Redstone guy, but you don't know how to make it look good, you can talk to another builder on the server.
Right.
Or something, and ask them if they'd like to build a shell around or if you've got an idea for a game, but you can't figure out the Redstone, you can ask, Ty or Evie or Drum or...
Yeah, Ty would be thrilled to help you out with it.
Chess. Yeah, absolutely. Ty would be thrilled to help anyone out in the Games District because that's his baby.
That was my unfortunate discovery this week is after I built the baseball stadium, I was like, Ty, is there a way to actually... No. There's no way to actually play baseball in Minecraft. That was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, Ty's been trying to get the Games District going for ages, and we've actually finally got games that we're out there playing with, and it'd be nice to get more people out there with different games.
Yeah.
Because we don't always want to play all the same games week in and week out.
Right, and I think currently we have a good balance of... I think the only game that gets played every week is Cornobble, just because everybody has so much fun with that, and it's very easy. You don't have to explain very much.
Yeah.
But, I mean, realistically, at this point, we could probably go 3 weekends without playing the same game if we did 3 or 4 games each week, which is great.
If Friendly gets his Coliseum fixed.
Yeah, he'll get his Coliseum, and Cave's been putting in work on whatever that thing he's building.
I got to get in there and start work on my sewer pig shooty game.
Oh yeah, but that community project is I'm really thrilled with how that's gone. And
yeah,
initially there was some hesitation of getting it going, but I think Ty's done a great job so far of making that a lot of fun. And honestly, it's probably the most used thing on the server because everybody goes to the Games District every Saturday. I mean, this last Sunday, I think that's the most people we've ever had at game day. We had what, like...
we had like 12 people.
Yeah, it was really... I had to sit out a few games because we had uneven amount for like 4 2-player teams. Or 3-player teams, rather.
Yeah, and see, that's the other thing too, is it doesn't necessarily even invite collaboration, it doesn't necessitate collaboration. Like, if you're just a builder specifically, Ty wants a lot of like aesthetic builds around there to make it look like more of a theme park as well. Like he built his Pokemon Center for us to have as sort of our lockers area.
Yeah.
And then some person put up a drummer 8x8 kissing booth and stuff like that. So he wants stuff like that too.
Yeah, just the other night, last night, I guess, he was talking to Cave about where they're going to put a Ferris wheel. So, definitely. That one's a cool community project, and I wish more people would hop over there because that place is cool.
I'm putting up this Scavenger Hall of Fame there.
Yep, we got Scavenger Hall of Fame.
And we have to figure out what to do with, we have to figure out what to do with all of those heads.
Yeah, they're piling up, man.
We still haven't figured out what to do. Oh, and you did the hidden Mario too, didn't you?
Yeah, I just sprinkled that in just for fun. Try and find it, people. It's an Easter egg at the Games District. There's a 64-bit Mario, or 16-bit Mario somewhere in the Games District. If you find it, there's no reward other than the enjoyment of seeing it.
You get to rub it in everybody else's faces that you found it first.
Speaking of things that are hidden that people may or may not find, there's been a lot of talk of the secret shop.
Yeah, the secret shop.
Any thoughts on the secret shop then?
The secret history of the shop is the history of the secret shop is sort of a secret history. I mean, no.
For those who are listening who are not aware of the secret shop, it was right. I think it was right before or right after the reset for 1.16. In our post office, there are bulletin boards. I don't know if anybody notices them when they go there, but they're meant to like promote shops and stuff. So just it's more of a role-playing fun kind of thing. If there's a new shop, you're going to notice it before you notice a tiny sign in the post office. But anyways, one popped up and it said, "There's a new shop in town. Can you find it?" or something like that. And I think a lot of us just assumed it was Toby's shop because it was the newest shop. And then it changed, I don't know, a week and a half later, and it said, "Nobody's found the shop."
It was a week later. It was like, it's been a week and nobody's found the new shop yet.
Right. That's what it said. And so we knew it wasn't Toby's shop, and it wasn't any of the other new shops that popped up because obviously we were aware of those. And then recently it has changed to, "So you found the shop, congratulations," or something like that, ... We won't give away on the podcast where it is, so that if you're listening and you're on Unity, you can find this shop. But yeah, it's selling, I think it was shulker boxes for $1 a piece.
It was shulker boxes for $1 a piece.
Then it went to...
And now it's... Do we tell them what the current deal is?
Well, there's 3 deals. Did you not see the second deal?
I only saw the Gilded Blackstone deal.
Oh, well, then you don't know what the third one is. Yeah, the second was the Gilded Blackstone, which was like, what? It was like 10 pieces for $1. And that stuff's hard to get.
Yeah.
Because the piglins will kill you if you try and take it. And now it's mending and unbreaking elytras for $8, which is $2 cheaper than anybody else who's selling them. And currently nobody's selling them. Secret shop. Own up to it. I have my suspicions. Then that's his. I think everybody has their suspicions.
I think we might all be converging on the same person at this point. Actually, me and Ty think it's Chess.
I see. My mentality is, it kind of feels like a Grinch thing.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking Grinch at the beginning, but Ty apparently saw Chess restocking the chest at about the time or looking in the chest right about the time the deal changed.
Oh.
Because I'm assuming where Ty got the rest of the Gilded Blackstone for the bottom of the fountain is that he went in and bought some from the secret shop.
Right, that's what I assumed too, because I was like, where did Ty get all of that Blackstone?
Well, I mean, half of what was in the fountain was stuff that I got from our Bastion hunt.
I think we talked about it last week if you were wanting to put, because it looked like little coins, but it was super dark.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. It's a good contrast either way.
But yeah, who knows who's running the secret shop, but the deals are great. We're not supposed to tell anyone about the deals, but we just did it on a podcast. So if you're running the secret shop, we're sorry.
Come get us.
Please don't make the deal be bad now.
You'll have to identify yourselves if you really want us to stop.
I think it's a cool idea because they gave a clarifier of if too many people know, the deals won't be as good. So I think it's interesting that it stayed secret for this long because the deals I think are still pretty good, or secret enough in their minds. But if they're a European player, they may have no idea that everyone knows about the secret shop.
I mean, Funnily enough, so like the day I found it, I bought shulkers, and I think I bought like 15 shulkers or something like that.
Oh, you bought them out?
I think I bought like half of the stock at that point.
Nice.
And then I completely forgot about that shop until till earlier this week on Tuesday night, I think it was. It was the fun night on Discord.
Yes, the fun night for then.
Yeah, the fun night where it was very far gone, inebriated, past the point of no return. And I guess I don't even remember actually going in there, but I just found it on one of the recordings I made from that.
You just saw yourself go in?
Yeah, I saw myself go in. That's how I found out there was a Blackstone deal.
Your drunken self was teaching you about the secret shop.
Reteaching me, yeah, exactly.
So anyways, in the idea of community projects, currently we have the Games District, the Modern City, and the Desert. If you are listening to this podcast and you are on Unity and you want to be involved in those, do not hesitate to reach out to Ty for the Games District, me for the Modern City, or Friendly for the Desert if you want to be involved. I think all of us would be thrilled to have somebody working on those.
Or Sammy for hers.
Or Sammy for the Fantasy Island. I don't know if she's quite ready yet, but yeah, talk to Sammy if you're interested in doing something big and fantasy styled.
I mean, and I'll say it, if someone's got an idea that relates to worshiping the holy hideous Gumphidius, you can reach out to me about putting something over at the Grand Temple, the Fungi Law, as I like to call it, the entire complex.
So one of the things that we had back in 113, or maybe it was just 114/115 land. Let me just jump in here and say there's been 3 iterations of Unity. We had 1.13 land. We're not going to count the first iteration of Unity because it lasted for like 48 hours. But the first iteration of Unity was 1.13. We played that all the way to 1.14. When 1.14 came out, we moved 100,000 blocks out, and we went and we started a new thing. So then we stayed in 1.14 land, and it transitioned into 1.15, but by the time it got to 1.15, everything was sort of dying out. So starting May of this year, right? March.
February.
God.
March.
Yeah, March of this year. Man, time is
right. It was right before.
Yeah, March of this year, we reset the server, and it was sort of in preparation for 1.16, but we started over. So when I reference those, that's what we're talking about. But anyways, back in 1.14/15 land, so the second iteration of Unity, when we were 100,000 blocks out in the same world as 1.13 land, we had this thing that Thin and Evie set up of auctioning off old bases. Because when you have a server, you're going to have people come and go, and some people stay for a long time and make a lot of progress, but then they just disappear. And they leave sort of these lasting monuments of nice bases, but they go unused, and there's a lot of valuable stuff in them sometimes. And rather than just whoever can get there first to steal it all or claim it, Thin and Evie set up an auction-based system. And I think we're definitely to the point of maybe needing that again, because there's a lot of abandoned bases around the server currently.
I mean, if you're going around and you see a name attached to a building and that name is not currently in the Discord, please don't take anything from that, because we are auctioning them off and all the proceeds are going to community stuff.
Yeah, up until this point, we've had the map shop, which not many people have taken advantage of, where for, I forget how many diamonds, I'll add a custom map to the game for you. That was supposed to go to community coffers, essentially, to perpetuate the same idea as Harbor Town of paying people to do community projects. But with auctioning off bases, it's the same idea. If you want to buy a Quaxie's half-built swamp mansion, highest bidder gets everything in it, and then that money goes to paying people to do other projects on the server. So I think we probably need to get that going if we want to encourage any community projects getting going.
Yeah, we're going to have to spend a night going around the server and finding untouched bases. Yeah, the abandoned bases.
Though I am the Minecraft billionaire, I don't really want to keep paying everyone to do everything out of my own pocket. That diamond-encrusted office took a big hit out of my old energy chest.
Diamond-encrusted office? I have yet to see that. I'll have to go check that
You've
out.
You've been over to my office at Drum Corp. If you look up, the ceiling is made of diamond blocks.
Not recently. I don't think I saw that last time.
Oh, yeah, it's That's how it's been since it was built. And see, then Grinch encouraged me, well, if you want to really flex, you should make it a netherite block ceiling.
Netherite.
I was like, I don't think I quite have that much time or money. Speaking of ancient debris and netherite, last week on the podcast, we discussed how seemingly easy it was to get ancient debris, right? We both agreed it wasn't that hard. Well, part of the process for me and Chess to build this huge perimeter on top of the nether was to start building a trench, because there has to be already a slice out of the perimeter in order to build the machine to finish the rest. So you have to do one slice of it manually. So we ran these dupers. We're going to do some quick maths here, okay? So each chunk is a 16 by 16 area, right? That's 256 blocks. So on average, if you say we're starting at the nether ceiling, which is 127 blocks up, going to bedrock, let's say 256 times an average of, let's just say 115 down there. That's 30,000, roughly 30,000 blocks per chunk, okay? So then we did 30,000 times 17, because there was 17 chunks that we did, which equals 510,000 blocks that we mined out with TNT dupers. And ancient debris is blast proof, so we didn't blow any up on the side. And after mining out 500,000 blocks, we ended up with 27 netherite. Or ancient debris, rather. So I'm not sure if we just did this in a horrible place for ancient debris, but I think me and Chess were both under the impression, yeah, we're going to have a dope wither skeleton farm. We're going to get to mine out a perimeter in the nether. But I mean, on the side, we're also going to make some money, right? We're going to get some ancient debris. But for the results of being per 30,000 blocks, we were getting about 3 blocks of ancient debris. It was not such a great return rate. So I definitely believe it is valid that it is rare. I think just, once again, we're going to keep coming back to this. With the community effort of us all blast mining together, we got it really fast. But yeah, definitely disappointed in the return rates on the trencher that we ran.
That's what I'm thinking with Cave and Jack. They're putting together a netherite shop. And I'm wondering how the hell that's gonna make any money, man.
I know I think they're using beds to blow up to sort of like make it go faster and not have to use a bunch of TNT, but I mean, they've been...
Hey, if they're using beds, that means they have to buy wool from my shop, yeah. So...
Well, another advantage of moving from paper to fabric is that animals are actually spawning now, so wool is not ultra rare like it used to be. But yeah, they've been working on that for a hot minute. They set up that shop the day after I set up the Nether Emporium, but they haven't had any stock yet. But they've been mining, I think, every day for about a week and a half now.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Jack on the server more often in the past week than I have seen him.
Yeah.
Ever since he joined in September of last year.
I think the inherent issue is that Cave is helping mine it. So a lot of the netherite they're finding may be going to replacing Cave stuff at the moment.
Well, I don't want to create too much conjecture on Cave's part. And I love the guy, but...
Love Cave to death. The guy dies more than anyone else on the server.
He needs infinite amounts of fire resist potions. I have a feeling.
He currently has the record for deaths on the server, which is partially because he killed himself a bunch to get heads.
That's even discounting all those heads. Because
Yeah.
He said like he only killed himself like 500 times or something for all those heads.
Yeah.
And like I think he still has the record.
Yeah, he's still way up there. Next is Chess. Chess also killed himself a bunch for testing some iron farm thing. But I think Cave, by a long shot, still holds the record for most deaths on the server.
Yeah. So congratulations, Cave.
Congrats, Cave. You're good at dying.
Deadliest player.
The deadliest player on the Unity SMP server.
Everybody thought it was Tempo or Dell. It's Cave.
So today, Sammy225 sent us both a picture of an ad she found on MC servers. And we're not going to name who it is, mostly because it's cut out, also because it's not our place to trash another server. This sort of inspired our main topic for today. I know, we're 30 minutes in, hitting the main topic. Great scheduling here. But there were some things in this that sort of spurred on some conversation, and I think will lead us into sort of what we want to talk about. So then you want to sort of go over what this post was?
Yeah, so it seems like a pretty darn normal server ad for what you see on MC servers, which is mostly servers that don't last more than like 3 months because they just buy their basic plan and it dies pretty quickly because it's a Minecraft server. And it lists, all the data packs they're using because they're using vanilla tweaks like everybody else is. And then it says, in the spirit of vanilla, there will be no ops or server commands used unless something is seriously broken, which we perceive to be as quite a extreme extension of the idea of what vanilla is.
Vanilla actually means.
And we talked about this last time about having an actual vanilla server versus a paper server versus a fabric carpet loader.
Well, and I covered in my video, I say if you're running a vanilla server, there's no option for permissions EX or permissions plus, that kind of thing. Your power is all or nothing. So you need to trust who your admins are because it's all or nothing. I'm saying that in the vein of, well, you can't be nothing. They're going to be opt. Exactly. But this person has adapted the ideology of split ideology, I guess, of having people who are opt is not vanilla, which I don't know where that strain of logic comes from. But also that there shouldn't be an op, which means if anything happens on the server, I guess you're just hooked. So
now I didn't read the whole thing, but the sentence right after that says, if somebody's found breaking any of the rules, there needs to be proof and testimonies from other members, and there will be a ban council that gets formed, and the accused will be put on trial. Which I think is it's a hell of a Lord of the Flies type of social experiment almost. Like you can have factions pretty easily. Like Drum, me, Sammy, Ty, and a fifth person from the server. We'll go with our server's deadliest player, Cave. For this example, we could all join, be the ban council. Be the band council and kick out whoever the hell we want just because we've got the same idea.
Right. It's a high school mentality of if enough people don't like you, they can just lie and get you off the server.
And what we're implying here is that if nobody's opt, then nobody really has the power, which is to say that you could potentially be kicked from your own server, which you won't like, and you're probably not going to go along with that.
Now, see, just to clarify, at the bottom of this post, I think we have an explanation for a lot of these things and why me and Thin are acting sort of like, the old lumberjacks talking to the greenhorn kind of thing. This person clarifies at the bottom, this is my first venture into running a public Minecraft server. So I think that's where most of these sort of inequalities in logic are from, is that they don't really know how to run a server.
He says it's been pretty successful thus far. I mean, I don't know how long it's been with this thing. I mean, the rules, we've had it in our rules, don't be a dick. This guy wrote, don't be a complete dick, which I would like. Dick. Yeah, I would like clarification on how much of a partial dick can I be? Can I be like 99% dick and still be okay? It's like a ship of Theseus problem. How much dick can I have from other people that's not my own dick, and it's still not me being a complete dick?
There's so many oofs I have to put in here. Yeah, so the thing I take issue with, we've joked about the ban council thing, but that's no way to run a server. I mean, like we said, you very quickly form factions and get people off that you don't like, lie about them, people can make up crap about you. If there's no ops on the server, as Thin said, if you follow that path long enough, you could kick the server owner if someone decided that they weren't good and this quote-unquote ban council agreed. That's no way to run a server. I talk about it in my videos. I keep saying that. Watch my videos, guys. It just makes this whole conversation just all the better.
Link in the description.
Link in the description. There's no way to run a server. You have to. You shouldn't demand respect from your players. You're not a god. I say that in my video. You're not a god. You shouldn't demand respect. But at the end of the day, you have to lay down some law. Like, you can't just be so laid back and just absentee adminning that there's no consequences. And ultimately, it's not up to a democracy on a Minecraft server to decide who stays and who goes.
Yeah, that's the
You have to
thing.
be confident enough to say, I saw you do this. Because I'm opt-in, I can go into spectator and see you doing it. I don't just have to catch you in the act because ops aren't vanilla, quote unquote. But you have to have somebody who has the power to catch these people. And then they're out. There's no forgiveness. There's no let's discuss it. There's no tribunal. We don't need witnesses. There's not a ban council. You're out. You're done. It's Minecraft. Find another server. Try again. Sorry.
That's the thing. You can run a Minecraft server any way you want. We've run Unity as a community-oriented server with no shopping, no diamond economy, and we've run it with a diamond economy. Those are two very different ways of running the server, but we've moderated the same way. You have to moderate a server pretty much one way, and that means you have to take responsibility for being a moderator.
Right. And
otherwise, what that means is that you're not a good moderator.
Well, and see, with this whole, there's no ops on the server, and we don't really know how far that goes. He may just publicly say that so that people don't think somebody's watching him. But without any ops on the server, that opens up any cheating to be totally speculation. I could mine straight down 2 minutes after I find the server, and on my way down, hit diamonds. If I'm an admin, and I see somebody gets diamonds and they have 2 minutes on the server, I'm going to start speculating. But if I'm opt on the server and I can fly over there and see that they just dug straight down and happened upon diamonds, they're cool. But it opens it up to all kinds of speculation and just like, Sherlock Holmesian investigating people if you have no concrete evidence of anyone cheating.
Yeah. If you're the head of a server, you need to understand that you have a responsibility not only to yourself as the server moderator, but also to your player base to be fair and as unbending in the rules as you need to be, which is different. There's a different line that you can't cross in different situations. You can be laid back on some of the rules and you can be harsher about other rules. Like on the server, I'm very strict about nobody over 18 can be on the server because I don't want to have to deal with any potential problems dealing with minors.
Right.
Legally speaking, in terms of like cyberbullying or anything like that. Not that we expect anyone to come across cyberbullying in our server because we're also very strict about that. Don't be a dick on the server. If we find that you're not a good fit and you're not participating in the community the way we want you to, we're not afraid to kick you from the Discord.
Right.
Which brings us right into another point, which is that, if you're having a Discord server, I personally would not want to join a Discord server to find that there's like 100 different people all with the same regular member status and 75 to 90% of them are offline and then there's some that are still online, because that just says to me that either you've got a massive server that everybody's active in and I'm just going to be another face in the crowd that you're not going to give a crap about, or it says to me that you don't clean out your Discord and there's a bunch of people who just really don't care what's going on, and you also don't care about what's going on.
Well, and on Unity, we have sort of a rough general policy, and we don't just do it based on our own feeling. We ask people. But if we haven't seen or heard, or nobody we talk to has seen or heard from you in about 2 weeks, you're out. You're unwhitelisted, and you're off the Discord.
And we state that in the rules.
There's some clarification of that of if you at one point were super active, you are an OG, that kind of thing, we'll shoot you a message. We'll say, hey man, how's it going? Or if you've been really active and randomly you disappear, we understand IRL stuff happens. But if you disappear without explanation for 2 weeks and we don't really know you, you're out. You got to trim the facts. Like then said, if you join a Minecraft server and there's 70 names in the Discord and not a single person in voice chat and one person on the server, that's some red flags. And you don't want that when somebody, is potentially deciding to make your community their home.
Yeah, people talk about quality over quantity all the time, but not a lot of people in terms of servers that get advertised on like MC servers, MC Minecraft buddies, Minecraft vanilla servers, wherever we advertise. Not a lot of people seem to actually do that because, we've been posting server ads for over a year. And how many server names do you actually recognize from all the way back then, all the way up until now that are still posting ads like us?
It's just a constant flow. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's just constantly new names of servers and everything. We've sort of slightly rebranded to say that we're not just Unity anymore. We're Unity 2020 to distinguish us from the older version of the server, but we still kept our name. We've got our name recognition. People kind of know.
I can think of one server, and I think it's called AreaCraft. I joined that server. Perfect example of what we're talking about. I joined, and there was probably 50 people in the Discord. Not a soul on the server. I joined. The only two people that were there, which I didn't know they were there because this admin/owner believed that having Vanish plugins was crucial to running a server. So I joined, and apparently there were two other people on the server that I couldn't see because they were admins that had vanished so they could watch me. But all it was empty promises of, oh yeah, a lot of people just went busy and, we're doing this and they'll be back though and blah, blah, blah. And I stayed on that server for maybe 2 hours. I was gone. It's not a good environment to set up new players for.
And if you think of yourself as the average Minecraft player who's going onto Reddit and getting into these Discords and onto these servers, and you're quitting after 2 hours, you got to think about how many other people in the Discord also thought the same thing. That they just joined for 2 hours and then they left and they're never back.
That's why on Unity I think it's important, and it sucks because you feel kind of guilty when you get rid of those people, like you didn't give them a shot. But I don't want people to join and never see those names pop into voice chat or see them on the server. I want it to be an accurate representation, as close of an approximation as it can be, to who is on this server. Because I think it's only fair. I don't think we should be bolstering keeping all these people in the Discord just to make it look like Unity's popular. I want it to be, this is what you got. You like it, stick around. We like you. Happy to have you. That kind of thing.
Yeah. And that sort of goes into the idea that, we maintain, even as, mods or anything, we're not up on our high horses. I would like to think not. And we're pretty down to earth. We hang out with people in the VC all the time. And we encourage people to join the voice chat and hang around and do community events and everything. So we feel like we have a healthy enough connection to the rest of our community that when somebody does go inactive, we genuinely feel like we're hurt that we haven't done enough service to them to get them to stick around on the server. That we haven't helped them enjoy their experience enough. It falls to us. It's not on them, really.
Yeah.
Because if we're advertising, we're the ones selling a product here. Oh, we're not selling, obviously, because it's not for profit or anything. But we're the ones, we're advertising this. We want people to come on. People aren't coming to us and saying, well, they want to get on. Despite the fact that it says, you have to shoot me a message saying you would like the Discord for me to give it to you.
Yeah. Well, insert obligatory in my video right here. I talk about that. I talk about, at least for me, and I don't know any other server owners, quote unquote, but like Finn said, I take it a little personally. I've put in God knows how many hours working on establishing this community and maintaining the server and stuff. So when you get that person that joins and they sort of leave without explanation or don't like it, it's hard not to think, is it something I said? Is it something I did? Is it something I didn't do? What could I have done to make that experience better for them? And not to toot my own horn, but I think that's a good mentality to have. But at the same time, if I did that for every player that joined, my mental state would just be trash. So at some point, you just have to develop a thick enough skin to just be like, this just isn't for some people, and they gotta get kicked.
Well, which is why I don't really understand people that say, as an admin, you have to be disconnected from your server. You can't play on your server and everything. It's like, we're genuinely proud of Unity. you're genuinely proud of what you built on this server. I'm genuinely proud of what I've been a part of since the beginning. I would like to think most of our core player base is genuinely proud and happy to be on this server and hanging out with all these cool other people. So it seems so foreign to me, the idea that you're not supposed to take it personally, because like, this is our baby. This is our pride and joy.
Right.
If somebody doesn't like it, it should hurt us in some way, especially if they've been active and then they became, disenfranchised with the server.
Yeah. I mean, I've been running Unity longer than I've held some jobs. Like, it is a very important thing to me. So yeah, like you said.
Yeah, there's a balance as an admin, as a moderator, as a server owner and server runner, that you need between the thick skin and also understanding that if you're gonna be, if you're gonna play hard to get, and you're gonna be, the cool guy about everything and not care about what's going on, to absolutely every extreme, nobody's going to want to hang out on your server. You have to care about your server a little bit, and you have to show that for people to understand that this is a server that means something to some people.
Right, and I think it's critical that you are involved in your server, and it's why when I got the job that took me away from the server and I knew I couldn't be there for Unity for those 4 or 5 months, I knew I had to give it over to Thin, because a huge part of being a server owner operator is when an issue comes up or a player needs something, if you have no idea who that person is, you have no idea where their base is, you have no idea how far along they are on the game, there's no way to accurately measure the amount of help or how to help them in that scenario. So, and it's a disservice for them to be like, well, we'll have to wait for Drum to pop on every once in 2.5 weeks to show up and help us. Like, you need to have a present, both in Discord and on the server, person running your server, And
it's okay to be a kind mod. Like, I'll bring up our server's deadliest player again, Cave, dies all the time. We don't just say, sorry, bud, you're out of luck.
Right.
We'll give him some of his stuff back, because he's a nice guy.
And this is pretty biased, and I know a lot of people on Minecraft subreddits and stuff would disagree with this. I personally think that there is no fun to the death cycle of Minecraft. There's no advantage, and there's no development that occurs after dying. It's really frustrating, because as much as we like to talk about how fast you can get to in-game gear and blah, 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 it really sucks to lose your stuff. And if it's through a mistake or possibly a server malfunction or just somebody in a bad place at a bad time, I don't see any value in punishing that player for that by saying, sucks, dude. Hope you enjoy the next 3 hours of trying to get all your stuff back.
Yeah, Minecraft is not a competitive game.
No.
It's not like Call of Duty, where like, if you suck, you're not going to get anywhere in the game. Like, you can do pretty much anything without ever actually getting diamond tools or anything. And Minecraft doesn't really require like a huge skill set, because it's such a broad game. You can do so much stuff with. I don't see the reason to punish people for being, not quick on their reflexes in a game that's not supposed to require quick reflexes.
Right, and my ideology doesn't extend all the way to me setting keep inventory as a game rule, but like I said, there's no point to letting players be helpless and screwed if something happens. So in my ender chest, I keep a shulker box that has basic diamond tools, armor, and some food in it. And if somebody dies from just getting wrecked or just having a bad time, whatever it is, I have no problem with giving them some of that stuff, because I see in my ultimate vision for Unity is the expediting of building awesome things together as a community. And if you're just repeatedly punished by void chunks, or now with the nether being so dangerous and losing your stuff all the time, that's no fun. You're not going to have fun in that environment. So yeah, give your players back their tools if they lose them. It's no skin off your back. I don't think any other player is going to be mad that you helped out another player by giving them, some stuff back. And I'm not saying you have to give them full netherite tools, all their diamond, blah, blah, blah. Just help them get back on their feet. It's no skin off your back to do that. And ultimately, I think it provides a better...
Yeah, you don't want to kick them while they're down.
Yeah, I think ultimately it provides a better experience for your players if they know, dang, I was just about to get started on X and now my next 3 hours grinding out this crap again, or I have to go spend a bunch of diamonds. Like, that doesn't help anybody. That's no fun.
That's the other thing, is Unity is not, at this point, just a Minecraft server. It's also the community in the Discord. You know, the people get on voice chat every night, even if they don't get on the server, to pop in and say hi. You know, we're involved with each other's lives to a certain extent. We share stuff with each other. So it really sucks, the idea to lose someone who is otherwise like a really cool person to talk to if they just happen to have really bad lag and keep dying over and over again, and we're just going to say, sorry, bud, I can't help you, and they just get discouraged from coming back.
Right, because it becomes exclusionary of, well, we're all doing X, and you just lost all your stuff, so we'll see you later, because we're all going to be doing this without you. Which
seems like a faction-y thing, like they're not part of the community.
And just to clarify, it's not every time someone dies. I'm not throwing out diamond tools anytime somebody dies, because often players are capable enough to go back and get their stuff. And it's not every death that somebody loses stuff. I'll often ask, hey, do you need some help? Are you okay? Is there anything I can help you get back? Because for some people, they've got their backup tools. They want to get back to that stuff, or it's easy to get back to them. But just offer that kindness to your players, and ultimately you'll be rewarded for it, because, you know, they'll be building awesome stuff you get to see and not constantly trying to grind out a new set of tools. And one thing that's worth mentioning is, if you're going to adopt the same sort of mentality I have about this stuff, it cannot be exclusionary. If it has to be an opportunity for every player, if something happens to them, you're willing to help them. Because if I was only to help out Thin and Chess and Sammy when they died, that's going to also cause a lot of negative feelings towards me and would cause a player to not want to be there. Because, like Thin's been saying, it causes a faction immediately. If you're Drum's friend, he's going to help you out. If you're not, you're screwed. Have fun grinding out new tools.
And we've gotten complaints like that before from people. Because we have a suggestion box. We have a complaints box that we, you know, all us mods go through at our mod meetings. And, you know, one of the first ones we got was, you know, saying, you know, do you get to be opt if you're Drum's friend? And that was really hurtful to Drum. And he wanted to be able to make that right to say, you know, I mean, I'm not playing favorites. You know, I want to prove that to people.
Yeah, and ultimately, I don't know where that comment was rooted in. And I don't know if it's just the behavior of other admins that would suggest that the only reason they're admins is because they're my friend. But it did suck to hear that, because I don't want to give off that appearance. So that's why I think it's important to me to offer that, at least in this scenario we're talking about, offer that kindness to all of your players. You should treat all your players as equals. You don't have favorites as a server owner. There may be players like, on the server, me and Chess, 90% of my play experiences with Chess. Is Chess my favorite player on the server? No, I don't have a favorite player on the server. You guys are my family, and I treat all of you the same, because ultimately, this is my little community, and I want everybody to feel equal and feel like everybody's important. So there's no point in being picking and choosing who your favorite players are. So as a server owner, always offer your players kindness and treat everyone as an equal, and they will stick around. Because when you're already going out on a limb when you join a server to just hoping these random people on the internet accept you, if you're like me and you have social anxiety, that is absolutely terrifying. So I feel as a server owner, it is your job to make any player that joins feel welcome immediately. And I absolutely love the behavior on Unity of, as soon as a new player joins, the chat freaking explodes, and I love it. I don't have to tell these people to welcome new players. They are, hey, how you doing? How's it going? They run over to spawn to say hi, to show their face. They're giving them diamonds. They're helping them. That is great. That is the environment that I want, and that's the environment I'd want if I was joining a server. And I think that's crucial to having a community that not only welcomes new players, but can last in the long run. Because I think everybody on the server who's been around, who's got the member tag, sees this as a second little community they're a part of. You know, it's where they go on the internet to feel like they belong. And I think that's ultimately the experience you want to provide as a server owner, is to a safe place to escape from, especially in the times that we're in now. For me, I've poured so much time into Minecraft because I've been stuck in my house for 5 months. And for me to log on and have all of these people talking to me, it's an escape. And it's amazing to have the community that we have. And I hope that we can continue to provide that for new players that join. And I think if you're, like I talk about in my videos, if that is your goal, to have a vanilla community-oriented, big emphasis on that, a community-oriented community, that's what you're shooting for. You want it to be a community that plays Minecraft, not a Minecraft community.
Oh my God, I think I'm tearing up. It was like such beautiful passion there. I mean, I don't know if there's a lot more to say specifically on that. I mean, I think we said it all at that point. You've summed it up, I think, better than I could. That, you know, we genuinely care about our player base, and we genuinely care about the community that we're building. And we think it's such a high quality thing that it's, you know, it sort of transcends the idea of Minecraft at this point. But we like to be able to share that medium too.
Right. I mean, if we didn't have Minecraft, if Minecraft got deleted tomorrow, I know tomorrow night we'd be in voice chat. We'd be finding something to do. And I think that's that's important.
I'm going to make y'all start playing Stardew Valley with me.
And I don't know what it is about Minecraft specifically, but a lot of communities are inherently toxic. And that may just be because I've been involved in a lot of first-person shooters. I really enjoy Call of Duty. There's something about people who play Minecraft, and it's why at the opening of my first video, I say, you want to start a Minecraft server? Well, first of all, congratulations. You're about to, you know, spend countless nights with some of the coolest people on the internet. I'm getting choked up. I need to stop.
You have to oof yourself. I think that's your first oof.
I say, congratulations. You're about to spend some countless nights with some of the coolest people on the internet. And that's because I truly, truly believe that there's something about people that are attracted to Minecraft. These are people who have boundless amounts of creativity, and people like Friendly and you who can just build like crazy, or Cave who can make these crazy looking builds and just never run out of ideas. You have people like Chess and Grinch and Ty who just, the amount of knowledge they have about redstone is just astonishing and humbling that they can figure out these things so easily. And then you just have, even if you're not great at redstone or building, they're just good people. And we've had our bad ones, but I don't know if I've just been incredibly lucky to encounter the people I have. But even the players that have come and gone have been some of the coolest people on the internet. And I don't know what it is about Minecraft, but I truly believe that if you're attracted to this game and you join a server in a community, we're going to get along.
Exactly. Well, that's going to do it for us on this episode. I think we've run through all the things we really wanted to run through this week. This was a good podcast. We got to talk a lot about, one of my favorite things to talk about, which is how much I love this server and why I think it's so much greater than all the other servers out there that are advertising. Hopefully other people feel that way too. And if you do or if you don't, maybe you should, comment on the video, like and subscribe, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, with most things, I like to be humble, but Unity is the greatest fucking server out there. I'm not gonna lie. I love this community. It's awesome. I've got to put in so many oofs right here, but
oofs number 2 and 3 for Drum.
I love Unity. I love all of you who are listening, even if you're not on Unity. So thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. We make no promises of a guest or not. Hopefully we'll have a guest. We want to get some other people on the podcast.
Hopefully. Yeah, we'd love to. We'll see you guys next week. But for now, goodbye.
Bye.